So, you are watching my podcast, Special Hero, and I am so glad that finally we have made it. We have a father today, okay, a new Special Hero episode, and I'm so glad to welcome him. Welcome, Manish Nerkar. And, he's the father for the first time, someone, a father, I'm repeating it thrice, but who has come. And he is an outstanding father. He is not only a special father, but he's someone who has taken this responsibility in his stride. Uh, for some reason, we got connected in our school, in my child's school, and I got to know from other parents that he is someone who volunteers for everything, you know. So he has accepted the condition and has is going on, continuing on. But this is my version. I would like to welcome you, sir, and please tell us about your journey, how this special journey has been so far.
Sure. Thanks, Abhilasha, for introducing me and inviting me to your podcast. As far as being a special father or a special dad or something is concerned, I think it's part and parcel of the responsibility. But one thing I can definitely say that when you are blessed, means, and I'm deliberately using this word blessed.
Wow.
So when you're blessed with a special child, I would not say that we all are Spider-Man, but as there is a famous saying in Spider-Man movie that with a great talent comes great responsibility, something that sort of, right.
Mm.
So I would say that with a special child, the parents automatically are gifted with a special patience level, special skills that makes you something special. Otherwise, everyone raises their child, so
Correct.
no big deal in that, and that's a part and parcel of the world. Uh, As far as my journey is concerned, it began. So my son Chaitanya, who is now 12 years old, he was born on 10th February 2011,
Mm-hmm.
and by the time he was about two, we realized that he's not giving enough eye-to-eye contact, or he's not babbling few words. Like as you know, that by 2 years of age, a child starts babbling, right? At least
Definitely, at least.
I, Baba, Mummy, Daddy, something that
Mm-hmm.
sort of. So my child was not even saying a single
Mm-hmm.
word. So that's when we got confused and we had a doubt. So we consulted his pediatrician, and he referred us to Dr. Archana Kadam, who's there in Pune.
Mm-hmm.
And she did all her tests and everything, and she concluded that my child is on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, when he was diagnosed, his ADOC test was 12, so which is the higher limit of mild and the beginning level of moderate. So that's how we came to know that my child is between mild to moderate level of autism.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure about other parents, but we as typical Indian parents uh, studied in Marathi semi-English school. We were not aware of the word autism at all,
Of
so we
course,
didn't even.
nobody's. I think this is something common with each and every parent.
Mm.
All of them have said that we never heard of this word. We never knew, and we had to Google it.
Yes, or probably I would say that 10 years ago or 12 years ago, probably it was not that common. But now I know that due to a lot of movies like Tare Zameen Pe and a lot of
Hmm.
My Name is Khan and all, now people are at least aware that there is something called autism that exists. And
Right.
due to the social media and everything, now it's much common. But at that time, we were totally taken by surprise. Initially, we thought that it must be something that will get cured in some time and all that. But after we Googled about it, after we consulted the doctor who clearly told us that there is no cure to autism. And why there is no cure to autism is because we don't know what causes autism. Because to cure something, you need to know what caused it, right?
Yeah.
So, and there are, as we all know, there are a lot of theories about what caused autism and all. But
Right.
yeah,
Hmm.
so it took a lot of time for us to accept that our child is special. He is not neurotypical. And by the way, this neurotypical word I recently started using. Earlier,
I
we
still
used
don't
to say
use it
normal child and
because I
special
don't
child.
believe that anyone is neurotypical, to be very honest. I feel that
Yeah,
everyone has their own,
mm,
eccentricity. And so everyone is a little bit eccentric. So no
right.
one is neurotypical.
So we were depressed as well. In fact, I would not mind even accepting that we cried a lot.
No.
That हमारे साथ ही क्यों?
Why, yes.
What did we did do wrong, or
Mm.
what wrong karmas we did that we got
I know.
such a child and all? But that's fine. Eventually, we started accepting it, and I would be telling a lie if we say that we have accepted it completely. Still, at times we tend to ask this question to ourselves or to the Almighty. Like, but one thing that I have now understood is, uh, I'm a firm believer in a quote that everything depends on God. Means work as if pray as if everything depends on God, and
Mhm.
work as if everything depends on you. So I know for sure that if God has given me such a child, definitely He must be having some plans for him. But at the same time, not relying completely on God, it's my responsibility, our responsibility as well, to try the best that we can do for our child. So thankfully, due to all the guidance from the doctor and that VN autism group that you're also part of,
Yeah.
uh, we learned a lot of things, what
Mm.
things we should do, what things we shouldn't do, and all those stuff. So we tried everything, medical intervention, importing biomeds from US, which was very costly.
Oh my God.
And I think, if I'm not wrong, I must have spent at least 10 lakhs in importing medicines from US. So because
Literally 1
each,
million.
yes,
Oh, wow.
because uh, because I used to order it because those medicines do not last long, right? They have a lifetime of
Hmm.
just 3 months, so you cannot import them in bulk. So I used to import it for 3 months, and each batch I think it used to cost me 50 to 60,000. So in a year,
If you could explain a little bit like what kind of medicine that was and did you see
sure,
kind of
sure. So there were a lot of things like there was one cod liver oil
okay.
which comes from codfish, and that apparently enhances the brain's capacity.
Yeah.
So we were told that the cod liver oil that we get in India is not that pure, because the cod fish
Hmm.
from which that oil is extracted,
Hmm.
that is specifically found in American Sea, means Atlantic Ocean and all those seas.
Okay.
So what you get from US is the best one. So that was one thing. Then there were other biomeds as well. Like, since he was not speaking, we were advised to inject him with MB12, that is methylcobalamin. I'm sorry if
B12.
yeah,
Vitamin B12.
MB12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it incorrectly, because I'm not a chemistry student. So methylcobalamin, I think
Yeah, yeah.
it was.
Methylphenyllamine. Yeah, yeah. Of course, you are
Y-
absolutely correct, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, so that we uh, injected to Chaitanya for about 6 8 months, and I would say that out of all the medicines that we tried, that one seems to have actually helped,
Mm-hmm.
because after giving it for about 8 9 months, my son spoke his first word, water, and at
Oh.
that time he was about 5 years old.
Mm.
So, and then eventually his speech grew up. Even now, though he cannot speak expressively, but he has need-based speech.
Yeah, most of
So
the children with autism.
yeah, so he cannot tell that मैं गुस्सा हूँ or I'm angry or something like that, but he usually says चलो मॉल में जाएंगे and घूमने जाएंगे, पार्क में जाएंगे, नागपुर जाएंगे, that he can say.
Mm-hmm.
So so that was one of the medicine that we tried, and then there were other things like folinic acid. Then I think isogest capsule. That was a
Digestion
digestive.
for digestion.
Yeah, right.
And
That
it
was
must
a.
be folic acid or some other. Folic acid is one of the vitamins.
No. I think folic acid is what is given when you are pregnant, right? I mean,
Yeah,
during the pregnant time,
that
it's
is there.
folic
Yeah,
acid,
but it's just vitamin basically.
right? But in this case, it's folinic acid. I'm not
Folinic
sure
acid.
what. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure what difference
Yeah,
does it
even I
make.
have not heard of it. Yeah.
So I've forgotten most of the medicine names by now because it's been 4 5 years that we have stopped giving anything to my son.
Mm.
But there were a lot of medicines that we tried. We first consulted Dr. Archana Kadam initially for first 2 3 years, and then somebody in the group suggested that Dr. Deepak Gupta in Delhi
Okay.
is good. So we consulted him as well for about another 3 4 years. So two of these doctors suggested many medicines that we tried. Some made him very aggressive. Some made him very suppressive. Some were neutral. Some disturbed his digestive tract. So there were a lot of side effects and everything. Then we realized that all these biomeds that we try are actually all trial and error based.
Mm.
It might work on some children, it might not work on other children. And as you know that success speak louder than failures, right? So say for example, 100 children tried it, okay, and it worked for one child. So the failure of that medicine on those 99 children won't make a sound, right?
Yeah.
But the one child on which it worked, that will make a lot of sound and that will make it very famous, right?
Right. Right.
So
Everyone will be behind that. That let's have that. Yeah.
yeah, so that's how we realized that it's all trial and error method, and we finally accepted that there is no cure to autism. We will have to just improve his life abilities by
Yes.
therapies and
Life
everything.
skills and all those things. Yeah.
And my advice to the new parents as well would be, do not take therapies for granted. Do not rely on medicines that overnight there is going to be a miracle and your child will be neurotypical again. That's not going to happen. But one thing that definitely helps is the therapies. Occupational therapy, behavior therapy, speech therapy is something that really works. And and most important thing is, you cannot just rely on the therapist,
Mm-hmm.
because nobody is so rich that we can take therapies on a daily basis, right? At the most,
Yeah.
we can go to the
Once or
therapist
twice.
once
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
week,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely agree.
and then they give an action plan that you need to do at home, right?
Mm.
So you cannot just say that we are taking him to therapist. The therapist will do whatever they can.
Mm. So therapies are something which we can be taking tips from, and then we have to work on our own. That's
Exactly.
right. I agree. Mm.
You have to devote a lot of time, and your entire focus needs to be on your child and following those best practices that the therapist has given. I'm very thankful to my wife that without her, we wouldn't have come this far. Uh, she actually left a job and stayed at home for about 5 years and did everything. And I remember every day morning 1.5 hours and evening 1.5 hours, so about 3 hours a day. She used to take all his therapies, all his occupational therapy exercises, um, things and everything. And the most frustrating part was te- to teach him how to write. You
Mm.
uh, you won't believe, we she was trying to teach him to write since he was 4 years of age, and he actually started writing last year when he was 11 years old. So you can imagine, from 4 years to 11 years, 7 years she kept trying and trying and trying. She used to even cry that why he's not getting it, why he's not getting it, but she didn't let it go. She kept her patience, she kept everything, and finally she achieved it. So now my son is writing, means of course still has a lot of confusion. As you know, most of the autistic children has confusion between 6 and 9
Yeah.
because they are the mirror images of each
Mm-hmm.
other.
Mm-hmm.
Then small b and small d.
Mm.
So he still gets confused in that, but eventually he got it. And something there are certain things that these childs are gifted as well. Like,
Yes.
we did not tell him how to spell a word, but my son on his own now can spell garden, school, carpenter, doctor, nurse, uh, all these words he can spell himself, and he writes
7 years.
on his own. Yes.
7 years has now showing the fruit.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Has come to fruition. That is
Yeah.
amazing. That is amazing.
And um, I was saying actually to her, whenever she used to cry, I used to tell her, "Arey, kya hua?" There are a lot of illiterate people around the
Yeah,
world who do not know how
exactly.
to write, right? So what if our son doesn't write? So, but she said, "No, I will keep trying until he learns."
Because she's a teacher, so she has that
Yeah,
intuition that it cannot happen. I completely I feel her, because I am a teacher and even I had the same thing. My daughter has a different trajectory, but yeah, I get it that why it was. So Manish ji here is an amazing person because the father thing I told you, but apart from that, he's a extremely supportive husband. And as you just saw that he praised his wife. I have not come across many men, like, with due respect to everyone, but have not come across who will openly praise their wife. Okay, because I have heard a lot about him, and he is just saying very very nice and sweet things about mother of his child. So just tell us something about your daily routine, sir, that how it goes and how is everything with now, like how you're supporting a child.
sure. So, as I told you, my wife was a housewife until my son was about 5 to 6 years old, and she went into a lot of depression. So, when we consulted doctors and everything, they said that she needs something in which she can engage her mind in, right? So, that's when we thought that she should again take up a job, and we found a college that was nearby to her house, and since now 7 years she is going there. She is a lecturer of mathematics. She teaches to 11th and 12th child, so she normally leaves by 7 o'clock in the morning. She Before she leaves, she makes breakfast and chapati sometimes, whatever it's possible for her. And then after she has left, it's my duty to wake up the child, to brush him, to bathe him, to feed him breakfast, and then to send him to school by his auto. And once he has left, I try to do as much as household chores as possible, like putting dal chawal in the cooker. That is something that I can, of course, do. Then making sabji is another thing that I help her with. So, but that's not because I have to do it. I love cooking basically, so I do that, and then she comes home by about 1:30, and my son comes at around 3:30, and then once he is at home, then we then we let him take rest for about an hour, and then at 4:30 we again start all his daily activities. Like
Therapy.
yeah,
Mhm.
my son goes to a wonderful therapist, Trupti Joshi. She is in Wagoli. She is a psychologist, and she is very good at it. So he goes to her every Sunday and for a session of about 1 hour, and then she gives us tasks for the entire week.
Okay.
So the task includes a lot of physical exercises that we take at home, and then she also suggests what should we take on in academics front. So that also we take. So that we typically starts at around 4:30. That continues till about 6:30. Both of us, we have distributed that responsibility between us. Like all the physical exercise part mostly I take, and all the academic part she takes, because as far as academics is concerned, my son is more comfortable with her.
Mm.
Like he will write more confidently when he is with his mother than he is with me. Like even with me he writes, but I have to tell him the spelling, but with his mother he does it all on his own.
He knows that what he has to do.
Yes, right.
Basically, it's
So
already understood.
yes, so for about 2 hours we spend with him. Then we take our dinner. Then our daily schedule is to visit the Shiva temple. So we go to the Shiva temple every day. So my son also, all three of us, we offer jal to the shivling, and we pray to the Almighty that He is your child. And though you have given that responsibility to us for time being, but remember that after us, it's you who have to take care of him. So I hope Lord Shiva is listening, and he will definitely answer our prayers. And my son has a very good learning able. I'm not sure whether it's called learning. Yaad karna, what we say, yaad
Mhm.
karna, right?
By
So
hearting anything.
yeah, by hearting anything. So
Uh-huh.
all the shlokas and everything that I pray at the Shiva temple, he knows it all learned by heart. So those are all complicated Sanskrit shloka,
Yeah.
but he has grasped it very quickly.
Excellent memory he has.
Yeah, excellent memory. So we do that. Then after coming home, again little time pass, and then he goes to sleep. So that's about it. That's the
So
daily
how
schedule.
actually, I just have one more thing because you have explained everything, and I'm very sure that fathers will be inspired by this. I just want to ask because you went into depression, probably a little bit yourself as well as you said. So how you came out of it? Being father, you have to face society more, and emotionally, women are more mature, I would say. But how, as a father, you came out of it, and you are everywhere where your son needs you, and you don't hesitate, you don't hide yourself. Yeah, you are just out in open. So was it spiritual something, or did you visit an expert, a therapist maybe, or how did you work on this?
I think spirituality is something that really helped me. And as I said, I believe in that quote, right? Like pray as if everything depends on God and work as if everything depends on you.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been my favorite quote ever since I was a child. So I'm a firm believer in God since childhood, and I believe that all for the best. We had a lesson in a school, like there is one prisoner in jail
Mm-hmm.
who loses his finger,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That story.
and then accidentally a tiger comes in and he sniffs everyone, and he eats everyone. And by the time he comes to this prisoner, he smells his bleeding finger and he thinks that this
Dead
person has
already.
died. So and tigers do not eat what is dead, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so then he realized that I lost this finger because that was something
Was
that
bound to
was good
happen.
for me and that what God thought for me. So whatever happens, happens for the best.
So you
So
motivated yourself basically with the spirituality, with your clarity of thoughts and commitment towards your son and
exactly.
your family. So I think this is what everything is coming out of it. You didn't leave a stone unturned for your son. You really spent a lot of money. You are still with him. So no, therapies are useful, but to some extent. And this is like can you say something to other fathers, especially who hesitate, that it's not my job to help the child to grow up, especially if the child has special needs. Most of the time I have seen that it's the mother who is working, and she's tired like anything, but it seems somehow you have balanced it, and you have made it sure that you are also a very important part. So what is the message you will share with the fathers?
Um, I think I would like to break that down into steps.
Okay.
Okay, the first step would be to accept the fact that your child is special. Okay, and you need to be self-aware of everything, all the aspects about having a special child. And eventually, you will realize that though there is no cure for autism or for any neurological disorder, but one thing that definitely helps is acceptance and awareness. So if there is acceptance in the society, about autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, or any neurological
Special.
disorder for that matter. Only
Mm,
when there is acceptance, there will be awareness, and when there is awareness, there will be opportunities for them, right?
wonderful.
So,
Wonderful.
so
Yes.
acceptance, awareness,
Options.
and that will lead to opportunities for your child.
Correct.
So, do not be, second step would be, do not be shy of your child. The way you have accepted your child, let the society, or I would rather say, force the society to accept him.
Mm,
Okay, and how you can do it? Do not be shy. I know a lot of parents, they do not take
yeah.
their child to
Mm,
marriages or to functions,
mm,
uh, fearing what people will say and all that stuff.
mm.
I will say, do not hesitate. Take him everywhere with you.
Right.
Let people see him. Let people understand him. Let people see what are the challenges faced by him. And there are many things that you can do to do this acceptance, awareness, and opportunities program.
These
One is
three are
the
magic
basic,
words. These three are magic words, I would say.
yeah,
Very nicely put, sir. Acceptance, awareness, and opportunity. That's how it
yeah.
will happen.
So the first step is, do not hesitate to take him out, to take him or her out anywhere where you go.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is, try to spread about autism, Down syndrome, or whatever your child has
Mm-hmm.
to the society directly, indirectly. In that matter, what you can do is, like, say, for example, what I have done is, I have stuck a big poster of autism in my society's lift.
Wow.
Same poster I have put at the back of my car.
That's a very good idea, actually.
Same poster, a smaller size of it, I have on my two wheelers as well.
Hmm.
My motto behind that is, when I am on the road, people will read that word autism. Okay, say for example, 100 people have read the word autism. 99 people will not think about it, they will just overlook it.
Mm-hmm.
But at least one of them would be interested to know, "Arey, what is autism this person has put on his car." So once he gets time, he probably will search it on Google, right? What autism is. And then probably in some conversation, if they're talking about a special child, he will say, "Arey, ha, I saw that word autism on one of the car, and this is what I read about it." So he will tell it to those 4 5 people with whom he is communicating.
Mm-hmm.
And those 4 5 people will again then communicate with 10 10 15 people, whoever they come in contact with, right? So this is how the message will go beyond you. Beyond your world, it will go to the
True. It is
rest of the
such a
world.
wonderful thing to think of and do it. And I really hope that, all the parents, mother or father, they are listening to this. The
Yeah.
steps from coming from you is like really the key words are there: acceptance, awareness, and opportunity.
Then second
Beautiful.
thing that I've done is, like, every corporate has one chapter dedicated for inclusive and diversity and all those stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so far, the corporate world was only aware of acceptance of what you call sexual orientation, gender diversity, and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the HR of my company and started that we have so many seminars going on for LGBT, or for gender equality, for for someone who is physically disabled and all those. But we are forgetting neurodiverse people as well.
Mm.
There are people with Down syndrome, there are people with autism, there are people with cerebral palsy. So I think we should start something on that front as well. So even the HR liked that idea, and I started that chapter in my office.
Wow.
And we try to conduct a session or something at least once in a quarter for all the employees.
Wonderful.
So though not everyone joins such sessions, because no one is interested unless and until it goes, they themselves go through it.
Mm-hmm.
But even if 200 people have joined that session, and if they have heard about everything,
At least they know.
I think they know and they will spread the word, right?
Of
So,
course. Yes.
I invited Masrat Tawawala ma'am, principal of Sundarji School. So she honored us by becoming the guest speaker in our means in our
Yeah,
company
she's a
session.
wonderful human being.
Yeah, so she gave a very good presentation, and I am sure those 200 people who had joined that session understood what neurodiversity is, and those 200 people must have told it to at least 1,000 people by now. I'm sure about it. So that the first step, as I said, don't be shy, believe in the words awareness, acceptance, and which lead with
Opportunities. That's
opportunity.
how the opportunity will come, by accepting and understanding those children and people. There are now a
Mm,
lot of adults with autism. So unless this is there in the society, what an amazing thing you said, sir. I just was
yeah.
thinking some kind of, just to listen to fathers, you will say, but this was the diamond, not even gold, I would say, in terms of words. This was diamond. Now I see, that why everyone appreciates you so much.
And second step, I would say, is to take responsibility.
Hmm.
Like gone are those days when a man's work or his man dharma was to earn money and to feed his family, and woman's dharma was to take care of the family and cook and do all the household chores, right? So nowadays, if we are not hesitant to send our wife for work and to earn money, then we shouldn't be hesitant in helping her out with
I really
household
want to.
chores,
I really want.
household chores as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If she can go
Yes,
and do a man's work, why can't you
you can do. Yeah.
sometimes do home chores as well, right?
Sure,
Same
sure.
goes same goes with parenting as well.
Yeah.
Uh, so of course it's a child of both, right? So we cannot just say that I'm busy with materialistic thing and economic things and all those things. It's he's your child as well, and I think uh, as far as emotional torture is concerned, a man still can overcome it by sitting with his friends, smoking a cigarette, or having two pecks with friend. But it's very difficult for women, and I know how taunting women can be when they meet their colleagues or their relatives and everything. So, though women are emotionally strong, but I think they are hurt the most. So, it's your responsibility to support them as much as you can. And that support can be anything, right? It can be by helping her out with household chores, or it could be helping them out with taking your child's activities and everything. So just try to help as much as possible, as because at the end he's the child of both of you, not just of mother. So that would be the second step, I guess. And third would be to don't underestimate therapies, and always prioritize therapies more than medicines.
Hmm.
So that would be the third and the most important message, because medicines, as I said, are all trial and error methods, and success speaks louder than failures. But accept the fact that there have been more failures of medicines than success. It's just that one odd success has made a lot of noise. But otherwise, therapies is the only way that's going to help your child.
Yeah. Totally.
So that's the
Totally.
third step. And fourth and the last is keep praying and keep faith on the Almighty. I think
Yeah,
it's
I would say, even I would say that spirituality has also a very important role to play. And if you are trying to be spiritual and meditate, it does become a little easier because the stress goes away. So it becomes better. Thank you so much, Niji, for joining in. And the last segment, which I was expecting to be, for 30 seconds, it lasted so meaningfully and so well that I really wish that each and every parent just watch from the beginning to the end, because you summed it up very beautifully. Thank you so much. My blessings for your child and my best wishes for your wife and, of course, your life in general. I hope everything goes the way you would like it to be. God bless. Uh, just
thanks, Abhilasha, and I hope every parents are trying their best. And I wish best wishes for your daughter as well as
Thank
all
you.
the special children who are
Yeah.
there. May the Almighty bless them, all of them, be it Allah, Jesus, Bhagwan, Krishna, whatever, Shiva. It's all one and the same. So
Thank you
Har Har
so much.
Mahadev.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much for joining. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Abhilasha. Bye.
Bye.